Hey, everybody.
Hey y'all.
We are back on it. Okay, so let's get back to our comments.
Hey everyone.
We are back, and we are back. Honey, that goes to show you how powerful this topic is tonight. Out of everybody, y'all who
Can't
watch,
stop us.
can't stop us. Can't stop us.
Ain't that what the movie doing?
Honey, because what God wants to be heard will be heard.
Really young people.
And everybody know, as long as we've been doing this, we have never had this problem.
That's all good.
And I love it. I love it. I love it. So, let me jump right over here. Kim,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad we got you on here today.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about a topic that a young lady on my Facebook page had posted. And when I saw it, I couldn't think of nobody but you. Her topic was she can't stand being around anyone's where their only answer to things is to pray. What you think about that? When they say that's the only answer, pray.
Who you at? Me? Because I used to get really, really upset because that was the answer that I heard all the time. Not because it was pray, it was because bro, you ain't got nothing else to tell me. But that was in my younger days, because my dad is a bishop now. So I was always growing up in the church like as elder daughter, then pastor daughter, now bishop daughter. And so around me, it was like, you keep telling me pray, but I'm living in chaos. So I wasn't understanding. It wasn't until I fully had to develop in life and develop in situations to where I'm like, it's not really a bad thing. But at the time, we're so used to needing help. So we figure if someone be like, pray, it's like, I pray. So why you ain't helping me? I'm not sure what she meant by that, but I could kind of understand where she came from because my thing was, you see, I'm in trouble and I'm asking for help. You're able to help me, but the only thing you're saying to me is pray. Why aren't you helping me if you believe in God? Because He say we're supposed to help where we can help. So why is your only answer is prayer? But when I got older, I understood that can nobody help you like him? Like he knows exactly what you need. And sometimes when people help you, they really just mess the situation up even worse sometimes. So sometimes the best answer is to just pray and let God work it out because well, I don't know how a lot of people do it. I believe in God, so I believe that He knows best. Even when I'm impatient, I believe He knows best. So the best answer is to just pray about it and let Him direct it because you don't want to try to fix it on your own. You put yourself in a bigger hole, or you go and ask somebody else, and you put yourself around somebody that you didn't need to be around. So now you end up being around them, and they can end up becoming a bigger burden on your situation, what you've been in, or they can feel like I help you. Now they want you to help them, and you more stressed out over their situation than your own situation.
Right.
So,
So Kim, let me ask you, since you know you're the guest, and I know you're very familiar with prayer. When situations come about and someone tells you just to pray, or have you ever just told someone to pray when they came to you and told you they had a situation?
I guess it depends on the person and the situation for saying prayer because that's one of those slippery slopes. That's one of those catch 22.
So why do you think people tell you to pray when you come to them with your situations and problems? Because do you think that's the only time people tell you to pray about it?
Well, I'm reluctant to say it's a good thing because you could be helping one that has never prayed, that completely do not know how to pray, that has actually got to the point where God didn't move fast enough, didn't move the way they wanted him to, didn't move according to the situation, because we feel the need to think that we pray a specific prayer and we want those answers. And sometimes it's not those answers that he's given us. I had to exhibit a lot to see that, okay, go to pray, I'm praying. I'm like, God, I'm specifically gonna tell you this here. And okay, when I get through praying, none happens. I see nothing. I saw nothing. So I'm like, okay, I prayed. So when I went back and told them, okay, I did pray. I didn't see
Well,
it.
let me ask you this. So, what made it come to where you felt that you needed to go to somebody? What happened to you to where, because certain things a person can tell you, pray about it, and you can take that as an answer. But did anything happen to you or in your life to where
When you did pray,
it
when it finally picked up to you to where you like, okay, I guess them telling me to go pray was not a bad thing. Like anything
or you felt like that wasn't the answer? Have you ever felt like that wasn't the answer for you?
The death of my daughter taught me that prayer is the only answer for me. 3 months later, God took my husband, her father. I can't exhibit nothing in life but to pray. Nothing worked. Nothing helped. I learned that people do not mean no harm when they say it's going to be all right. Things going to get better. God don't make no mistakes. And that's the most dangerous type of words to say to grieving people. Mourning. You can never speak those type of words to a person that is grieving, that has lost especially a child. Now, I can even relate to losing a mom and a dad because, again, I lost my mom at 6 and my dad at 4. So I never experienced parents. I never experienced anyone to love me other than my cousin Bucky and my husband, who I met when I was in high school. I really didn't even know what love was. And I had a son at 16 years old. And honestly, I don't mean no disrespect, had sex the first time in the back seat of a car at a party with my clothes on, pulled my pants down on one leg to the side, did that, and I found out I was pregnant. So that's when you know it was nothing even into that. But when I gave birth to my son and finally realized somebody loved me and then had somebody to tell me that he loved me, because that word just never coexisted in my life. I never heard the word love from nobody other than my baby daddy, my husband, to teach me how to love and say it and let my kids feel it. I don't just speak those words. Anybody knows me, I show those words. I show. I am a woman of actions, not just of words. You're going to feel my aura. You're going to know my presence was there. I'm going to make sure I leave it there.
Let me ask you this.
I was just going to say, so dealing with the loss of people that you felt like was dear to you, people that you felt like was all that you had, dealing with the loss of them, the only way for you to even kind of just be able to just maintain yourself mentally is for you to just pray.
You know what, sweetie pie? What really lead me to pray hard? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy amongst the people that you call family and close friends taught me prayer is the only thing left for me. Nothing worked. I can call and ask for help. It was the silent no's, the quiet no's, the rejections, the conversations behind my back to make me feel like I was a beggar, I was needy, I was a liar, I was money hungry. I even was told I cry wolf. My tears didn't even move people to the point that they say all she do is cry. So I told myself, if all that hurt and all that pain still didn't get people to move according to my hurt and pain, because again, they never experienced anything I've been through. To lose so much and to ask so little is still a no. But if the shoe was on the other foot, and you come to me and say, Kim, you got $100. I swear to God, I probably got two, but I'm gonna make 98 calls to get $1, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna have you that 100. No matter how I got it, I'm gonna give it. But you know the worst type of words I ever heard from mostly 75% of people was, everybody ain't got your heart. People just not like you, Kim. Everybody ain't got your giving spirit.
So that's one of them things to say, pray about it.
And the biggest thing they said was, Kim, just pray about it. Give it to God and leave it there.
So those people that told you to just pray about it, has there ever been a situation where they came to you and you told them to just pray about it?
You know what I told somebody to pray about recently? I had my friend, I ain't gonna say her name. She called me and she said, Kim, you was on my heart. I know I'm gonna call you because I know you're not gonna judge me. And she told me her situation, and I told her, she's like, Kim, what make you so strong? What make you different from most? I said, watching everybody else. What makes me different is because I told myself I want to be different, but I want to be a good difference. I want to be the kind that can say the word prayer and give you reason and actions behind the word and give meaning
one
to
of
the
the
word.
things the young lady, she said, words to action plan.
Absolutely.
And just prayer.
Absolutely.
I mean, but
you don't think
people gotta understand that prayer is the action. Prayer
action.
is the action. Because once you pray, you will gonna come about with action. Like, you have to pray, but you can't just pray. You have to pray, believe, and you can't keep putting yourself in certain situations. And some people feel like they pray, and God not moving, but it's not God, it's you not moving. It's you keep putting yourself in a certain situation. You can't keep asking God to deliver you from the same thing. He's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna just let you have what it is that you want, you know? So I feel like some people feel like, where's the action plan? The action plan is you praying and you getting out your way and you letting God. You can't pray about
now
something.
That's the thing. You can't pray about it.
And then try to go fix it.
Because
after
you can fix it, then
what you praying.
What you
You can't pray about it and then go ask him and then try to go fix it. You got to pray about it.
Give it to God.
Be still and know that I'm God. And I feel like sometimes we as humans, we have a hard time doing that. Me include myself. I pray about something and then I'm just like, I get a thought and be like, okay, I got this thought. Let me go try to do this. Thinking, like, you know, I got this thought. Maybe God telling me to go do this and do that. Not understanding that I prayed about it and I really need
but still, that's the human side that still kick in.
Yeah.
You got to understand we're not perfect people.
No, we're not.
So that goes with the imperfection side. That goes
so
with
let me ask you, we're losing so much.
Side.
We're losing so much and so many people that, you know, you love and going through those turmoils or grief. Did you ever feel like praying wasn't the answer, or was prayer always the answer for you?
I didn't think I gave up on prayer when my daughter left me. I wanted to literally leave this world. I gave up life. See, I committed suicide, but didn't commit suicide. I went out there to be hit by a car, but I selected the car and then catch a fast car because I didn't want to leave, but I wanted to.
I forgot they got a term for that. When you wanna commit suicide, but you actually don't kill yourself, but mentally,
yes, I was mentally
you was trying to kill you.
Yes.
Like, it's a word for that. I can't think of it, but I've heard that. Like, people can't commit suicide without actually committing suicide. Like, there's a word, you just suicidally just want to be gone. Like,
so when you felt like that, what was your other options to do? What did you do then?
Well, let me tell y'all something that's scary. I'm gonna tell y'all something really sad. When I lost my daughter, I went to seek counseling. I went to 2 different counselors. I went to one, no disrespect, no discrimination. I went to the first one was the white counselor. When I went with her, there was a group of people who had different people, men and women, who lost their children. Some of them was speaking in languages I couldn't relate. So I felt out of place, even though it was a grief counseling session and different people lost their children. And some of them was angry at God, mad. And I knew that wasn't going to help me. So what I ended up doing the next day was getting another counselor who was Black. And y'all, the first day I met her, this is what she told me. This is no lie. She said, I don't have any girls. I have 3 boys. I don't know how it feels to lose a child or a husband, but I will help you cope with the pain and help you try to heal so you can get some normalcy back to yourself, even though it's going to be hard to do. Do y'all know that same person who told me that son killed his girlfriend, killed her, killed himself, husband divorced her, she's now in jail for killing her boyfriend?
Oh, wow.
The same counselor, therapist who counseled me.
Yeah, a lot of people try to give you advice that they can't handle.
Facts.
And that's why
Facts.
a lot of people give you advice that they can't handle.
Facts.
A lot of people expect you to do something that
Facts.
they wouldn't even have the strength to do.
Facts.
And so it sometimes when someone tell you to pray, take that as a winner, because the advice that they might give you might put you further in a hole than what you need to be. They might give you advice that they're not even strong enough not to do.
So what about when they say, I prayed? That's all I've been doing is praying, and my prayers never get answered.
And that's what I need to know. That's the part.
But they say push. Pray until something happens.
It took years for mine.
Just keep praying. Keep praying.
It took years for me.
And if it's meant, I feel like if the situation is meant to change, it will change.
And that's
I feel like there's
it
something
will.
that you're not getting out of what's going on. And you don't understand that until you've been through that. And so people that say, I prayed and nothing happened, what the old people say, they got to keep a living. Because they haven't been through enough to understand that it's a process. That prayer comes in processes. He don't always just do like this. It's not a magic trick. And I think a lot of people feel like prayer is a magic trick, and it's not a magic trick. It's just something to keep you going throughout your day, throughout your life, to get you spiritually together for your welfare that you got going on, and it's to help you go through the process, because people feel like once they become a Christian or once they pray that bad things are not going to happen, and that's not the case. It's not the case. And people that say, I pray and nothing happened, I prayed about some things right now and still nothing happened, but I've also prayed for some things and it did happen. So I'm just like, okay, maybe it's not the moment. Right. And I've never experienced a loss of a child like that either, but I have a child, and just the thought of it, my heart just goes out to anyone that has. And I feel like the only thing that could get them, me personally, if I was in a situation, the only thing that could help me is prayer. Because what can you tell that person? What can you say to them? How can you be there? Because there's no words that can heal their heart.
Some people don't care about that, baby. That's just words to say. And some people say pray just to get you out their face. Some people say that to so you can leave them alone. Some people say
they may not know what else to say.
And so that can be, like I said, that's some catch-22.
Right.
I feel as if you have not experienced some things, it's better. Like I say, everything does not warrant a response. Mm-hmm. You just don't have to comment on everything. And I learned that when I lost my daughter. I received books in the mail that said there are 3 H's to grief: hugs, hush, and hang around. Mm-hmm. If you implement that, think about it. If I'm grieving, if you come into my home, first thing you're gonna do is come there and give me a hug. If you got sense, you're gonna sit down and not say nothing. And then you're going to sit around and hang around me just to make sure I'm okay. But then you got those that'll come in and say, Kim, God didn't make no mistakes. I know you lost your baby. I know you lost your husband. But there was a reason why. And see, I did not say, I let them people say that to this day. And when one of them told me, You put your husband on the pedestal. I didn't know what pedestal I put him on. Last time I checked, he was just turned John.
Because you put a person on a pedestal, they warn them to pay.
Hey, some people even had the nerve to
Because
say,
some people feel like when you make certain things an idol,
never.
other than God, He'll take them away.
I never did that, baby.
But for them, I'm not saying.
No,
that
no,
you
I'm
did.
saying I allowed them to
For
say it.
for
I
someone
just
to
said it.
tell you that,
In the day of
it
grief,
just
they said it to my face in my kitchen after I
you
had
have
not
to
even
be
put my
careful
husband
when
in the
they
ground
say stuff
yet.
like that, because God definitely puts them in position for them to understand what it is that they.
I've seen her position, baby. I've seen her position since then. It's okay,
Yeah.
but guess what? I would never do. I didn't get no anger behind it. I felt sorry for the person saying it.
I think people say pray sometimes, like she said, is to get you out their face. I feel like if you have never talked to me about God, or we ever been on a level to where when I tell you, even if it ain't nothing bad, if I say, oh, I hope I get this house, I'm gonna pray that you get the house too, or we gonna pray about it or something like that. If I've never been that person to always tell you to pray about something, whether it's good or bad, I just feel like when somebody going through and they say, oh, you just pray about it. Sometimes I find that you just really trying to be funny. Like,
but everybody can't pray for either.
Yeah, and I find that you really
everybody can't pray for it.
You trying to be really you trying to try. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to try, because why would you say that? Like, I just
say they said it.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes it be on some real petty level. Like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes, a person can tell you to pray about it, Kim, just like in what the things that you went through in life. Like you say, you lost both parents, a husband, a child. Sometimes a person can tell you to pray about it because prayer is all they had. Because I know me, for instance, if somebody tell me they're going through certain things, if I say pray about it, it's sincere enough. I really want you to pray about it and get an understanding from God. Some people just have been through some real deep storms to where prayer was all they had.
I guess it's the delivery.
So that's why
I guess it's the delivery. And I guess on what type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it'd be the delivery and who that person is, who it's coming from.
No, delivery.
But I don't be mad.
Some people can be very sweet with the delivery. Yeah, that don't mean it. To me, it's the person. I was just gonna say, I guess the person. It kind of depends on who the person is. It's the person, because I also heard a person, believe it or not, also in my grief tell me. I mean, I can know it. It's like it's 10 years now, but I remember everything like yesterday. I also said, people happy that you went through that. Some people just happy that you did that. Some people want to just see you do it out. I also heard somebody tell me, people just want to see you hit rock bottom. People just want, I said, rock bottom.
And I wonder, like, why would somebody even let that come out their mouth to say they want, or somebody would want to see that? Well, and then to tell you to pray about your situation.
Yes. All the time. But you know what the sad part about it is, when people never take accountability and responsibility of what they have said, and then have the audacity to act as if they didn't say it, and then justify saying it, and then excuse it to make sure that, okay, oh well, it is what it is. That's that phrase that I hate. It is what it is. Oh no, it's not. It's not it is what it is situation with grief. It's not it is what it is situation with the loss of a child. But I tell you what, when that pain come your way and that hurt come your way, please always remember who you spoke those words to. I wish that on nobody, not my worst enemy, because what y'all do not understand, it's been 10 years this year. I go to that grave every Sunday to see my daughter. And that keeps my sanity. That keeps my peace of mind, and her leaving her daughter here with me give me my peace of mind, because giving up is easy. Mm-hmm. But if I give up, what becomes of her daughter who she left her with her mom?
So praying kind of gave you your peace of mind.
It's my everything, because
so do you pray stronger now versus then?
No, y'all. I prayed when I was little. I taught my kids how to pray. You can ask Deontay, Lil Tommy, and Jamia. They learn young. I had my children where Me and my sister stayed fighting with each other
Mm-hmm.
up until adult years. My kids couldn't even argue with each other. They will tell you, 23 years, me and my husband never went to sleep mad. Whatever we went through, we didn't go to sleep mad. My kids will tell you, it's just things they never saw. They saw their mom affectionate, passionate, romantic, spontaneous. I'm just one loving mom. I hug my children. I said the word, I love you. I told them stuff I never experienced. So some people use that as an excuse to say they never experienced. That's just a cop out to me. I've never experienced it either, but I'm the most affectionate woman in the world. I love to tell my children, my grandchildren, I love y'all. You beautiful. They don't need nobody to tell them that. I tell them that, but I wasn't told I was beautiful until I met my baby daddy.
So what when people say, well, they just told me to pray about it. What is your answer to that? What do you say to someone that says, I'm really tired of people telling me to pray about it? What is your answer to that?
Because people do say that.
Do you want resolution? My answer to that is, do you want resolution? Do you want closure?
Okay, what do you tell to the people that say, how long? I think she say God don't work on our time, and that's true. But what do you tell the people that's not understanding? Like, God sees that I'm in pain, or God sees I'm in trouble, so he doesn't. He's supposed to fix it because he's loving. He's God.
Yes.
So I'm tired of waiting. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do, Kim, if I got to keep waiting and I'm praying? What am I supposed to do?
Well, you know what? It's only one or two things. You can either do it the God way or the worldly way. If the worldly way ain't working for you, what's wrong with trying God's way? If the worldly way has never worked for you and you at that point, you're impatient. It got to happen right now. All that didn't work. So let's try praying and see if that do work. What's wrong with trying another way if the way before you didn't work? I saw nothing work for me doing it that way. Everything works for me now that I pray.
How do you deal with you praying? So that means you're connected to God.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
absolutely.
How do you deal when people come to you and they say, God didn't make no mistake? How do you will not allow just that right there when they say God don't make no mistake, and you just think about it like, God, have you ever like questioned God? Yes. How do you allow that to not hinder your relationship with God? Because if you're close to God and you loving him and you praising him and you thinking you living for him and just boom, something happens to you, how do you keep believing in prayer after people say, well, God don't make no mistake? The person that you're looking on to protect your whole life and keep things from you, how do you keep a prayer life when praying and bad things are still happening?
Because I have applied the fear factor to my life. I'm fearful of karma. I'm fearful of what goes around comes around. I'm fearful of everything wrong, because when you lose a child, it puts your mind at the point where, what if this is karma? What if I did do wrong? Even though people tell you, no, God did this, it's not that. Your mind can hear so many things, but your beliefs and the insight of what you're thinking, your own internal thinking, is going to do it. Because no matter how y'all say it, I've seen people lose their children, but all our pains are different. Just because we lost a child, we're under the same umbrella of losing a child, but our mindset and thought process is not the same. I go see my baby every Sunday. It's people probably don't never want to go see their kids because they can't go see them. I can't judge nobody but on that. But what I can say, I'm fearful of losing another child while I'm living. I try not to wrong nobody. I try to right my wrong. I try to apologize. I try to walk now the way God see me to be. Because when this is all over, when this is over, I do know there's a place in heaven for me alongside my daughter. See, the thing I learned is I've been in 3 relationships since I lost my husband. You all know we can get another man. Those are facts. I lost my husband, the man of my life, my high school sweetheart. But look at that. I've had 3 relationships since him. but I can never get a Tommy Kimbrell back.
Mhm.
I got her daughter. She's not mine. She's her daughter.
Right.
But I love her because that was my daughter's child. I give her everything that I know her mama want her to have because that's the godly thing to do. And it's the only thing to do because my child is no longer her to tell me anything. I don't get to hear her voice. I don't get to see her face. So I tell people in a minute, I don't want to hear your complaints about nothing unless you lost a child. Nothing you can go through is more painful than losing a child. I guarantee it. You have her here today and she leave here tomorrow, that is no more coming back. So I judge nobody losing a child. I don't want to hear them say, she didn't grieve too long. I can't tell it really happened. That's selfish on thinking like that when you ain't never lost
So
one.
your pain
What's the-
basically kind of made you, in your situation, did it make you like, when you was angry at God, was you still able to pray to him? Did you still
Yeah.
believe in the power of prayer?
I did not. I will tell you how that situation happened.
Okay, so
I did not.
what started making you, what would you tell someone that feels the anger that you did feel
Right.
when they
Stop praying.
when they stopped praying and they stopped believing in the power of prayer? What transpired for you to be like, you know what, I need to start believing back in the power of prayer, and I need to start praying again? Like, how did you begin to start
Get your
believing back
faith
in
back,
the power
right.
of prayer?
When I'm a member, I was a member of Second Baptist, and Pastor Kelly is my pastor. I'll go to the Southwood Church. I never forget it, y'all. I went to service one Sunday. I tried to go back to church after losing my husband and daughter. Well, I'm going every Sunday, but I'm not feeling it. I'm just a body in the building. I'm not feeling it. I'm not hearing the word of God. I'm not relating to none he said in the choir. I used to be a choir member. I used to be on all the ministries. I'm physically going because that's something I was trying to relive, keep going in my spirit, because that's where my husband was. My daughter went to pray. Until one Sunday, I got up to walk out the church. Pastor Kelly had the ushers to block me off, told them not to let me leave. I need to hear this. He stopped praying his sermon, turned directly and looked at me and looked and prayed at me and told me, when you leave out of here, is it going to make you feel better?
So you felt like God finally listened to you. That was a confirmation for that pastor to stop in the middle of a service and to speak directly to you. At that point in time, did you feel like, okay, God, you listening? You answering me? Are you really here with me?
Yeah, is that what made you start back praying?
You felt like God was really there with you?
Let me tell you that, yes. You know why? God cannot come down here and speak to us.
Mm-hmm.
But he can speak through people
mm-hmm.
for his presence
mm-hmm.
to be known.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, me leaving the church, my mind was to really go do something to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the pastor stop
mm-hmm.
preaching
mm-hmm.
in the middle of a sermon to have the ushers to block me from leaving out the church and stand me up in the middle of the church where the congregation is staring at me, and they all felt my pain to understand. You gonna listen to me, Kim. And when I tell you, I gave him my undivided attention, tears and all. Because at the end of the day, that church family came to that funeral and saw my pain. And I'm still trying to do everything right, go back to church, listen to God. But when he spoke through pastor, and he didn't speak as a pastor, he was speaking as a friend who cared about my pain and saw my hurt and told me, you give it to him, he gonna take care of you and heal you. I trusted him that day, and I've been fine with that part. That's why I can go to that grave and go down there peacefully, sit and talk to her and her daddy, because they right beside each other, and tell them what I'm going through. Because at the end of the day, you can never heal completely losing a child. You go sit there, all it does is it just sit there, it's an empty hole, and it just sitting there, it just still beats. Because what God blessed me with was 4 children. Now, had she been my only child, this conversation would be going different. But he gave me 2 girls and 2 boys. And that's why me and my daughter are so close. I gravitate to her because I realized he still blessed me with 2 children, and he also gave me the one gift that some people may not get, her daughter, who is just like her mama. And that is a reminder of prayer and faith.
So do you teach her daughter to pray?
Baby, Dee Dee gonna tell you the first thing she wake up in the morning. If you call her right now and say, Dee Dee, when you wake up in the morning, what do you have to say? Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. I love you, God. Call one of my kids who are 34, 30, and 24. Ask them what they must say. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. I love you, God. They was taught to pray on their hands and knees before they go to bed. God lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
So when you get adults and people come to you and like, Kim, I know you went through, everything you went through. I never went through that, and I don't know how to pray because it seemed like when I pray my prayer and talk to God, nothing get answered. So when they say, well, how do you pray? What will your answer be to that?
You just got through praying when you just got through talking to me right now and asked me how to do it. You just got through doing it. It's just a terminology that you didn't get on your hands and knees and do it. You just got through praying when you asked to know how to do it. That is all you got to do. There is no specific way to pray. It's just a talk and a walk with God and truly believe that he's going to come through and help you. It's no specifics to praying. You can pray anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. I don't have specifics on pray. But if you take time to ask somebody how to do it, you really praying because you want to pray. It's not no way. It's just like driving a car. You get in there, you don't know what you're doing. First thing you do is supposed to start it up. You start and you started trying to turn over. It ain't doing it. Ain't working for you. But sooner or later, you're going to keep pumping the brakes and doing all that. It's going to crank over. Some of these new cars don't take it but a push button. But, it is. God is right there. He's waiting on us. He's waiting on us. It's up to us. And if anybody tell anybody that prayer don't work, yes, it do.
So basically,
yes, it does.
What I got from that was the people that when you lost faith and stopped praying, if you just sit still enough and allow God to speak back to you, if you're willing to listen,
yes.
So what do you do when you're trying to pray and the devil keep biting at you? Because sometimes people, they pray and they feel like, I'm praying, but the devil's still on my back. So is it that, why the God ain't stopping the devil from being on my back and I'm praying that he keep him off my back, but he keep riding? What do you say? Because a lot of people feel like I'm praying to God, but the devil riding my back, I might well go with the devil.
But let me tell you what somebody told me. When I said that same thing, Corn, I said, I've been experiencing the devil for 10 years. I'm now 49 before I turn 50. I said, I've experienced my whole life of the devil. When I'm going to have a break. You know what somebody told me? They said, cuz you experiencing long suffering. I had to Google that word and tell myself that's exactly what I experienced. So guess what? This is the part. So both my husband and daughter passed in 2014, cuz ain't this 2024?
2024.
Listen to the power of prayer. Every time I went to that gravesite and told God what I wanted, and some prayers I didn't even talk, he already knew. He not only did this for me. I had no medical insurance last year. I thought I was just gonna lose it. Couldn't get none or nothing. Just couldn't afford it because I had to take care of my grandbaby. Because this year I got not only one but 2 insurances. I got the best man a woman could ever dream of having. I put a cleaning business in my daughter's name last year in August. I got my first clients this year. There, I was going through a job with trauma for 3 years. Trauma to the point where I thought I was going to lose my mind. I got a promotion just 2 months ago into the hospital that I'm at with higher pay, Monday through Friday, off on every weekend. Now, all I told God was this here. God, heal my body. Bless my finances. Bless my mental. Bless my health. Make it to a point where I don't have to ask anybody for anything but you, Lord. I don't want to ask nobody for nothing but you because I can't afford to pay nobody back, and I'm tired of them talking about me behind my back. And if
But that's
anybody,
talk to God.
if
Like,
anybody, Lord, can
somebody
do
else.
this for me, you can do this for me. Please, God, I'm begging you. If you do this for me, Lord, do this, please, for me. I want to prove to everybody that the prayer that I'm praying to you is going to happen. Well, baby, look at me. I'm the most happiest woman you can ever see. It took 10 years to get here. And Quana, I've never said I was happy, y'all, up until now. I am happy.
Prayer changes things.
That's the only
It
thing.
doesn't change it, and that's the conclusion. Prayer does change things.
Prayer
Everything.
changes
It doesn't just change it when you think it's supposed to change. It changes when God sees
says so.
fit for it to change for you.
Absolutely.
Because
Did y'all
there's
just
a
hear me say 10
process.
years?
Yeah, there's a process
10
that you have
years.
to go through.
10 years of a process. I
So,
went
so that's your tip. That goes.
10 years of a
Someone
process.
say
no
you
time.
go through a storm, and just because the devil's on your back, as long as
Roll
you have
mine.
faith, God has the
Beat
last
me
say
up.
so. Yes, that's good. God is so faithful. Yes,
Yes.
He is very faithful.
Very
And
faithful.
sometimes I be like, God, is you? Am I getting on your nerves? Is you heard me? Cause
For me, man.
I'm still waiting. It's me.
Yes.
Just still waiting, God. If you
Yes.
tired of talking to me,
And that's when we got to have that patience.
and
Patience is the virtue. You
I'm
must have patience.
baby.
You got to have patience. You got to really leave it there now.
I've been through so much stuff for a consistent period of time as well. And it's crazy because God does use certain people to come
Yes,
in your
He does.
life and tell you things. And sometimes it be the people that you don't expect to come tell you. So sometimes people, when they tell you to pray about it, they don't be funny, even if it's the last person that you think it's gonna be, because sometimes God will use somebody that you least expect
Absolutely.
to come tell you something that you needed to know.
Absolutely.
And
Commitment
I would say
said,
the same prayer, it takes fasting.
yeah,
Yeah.
some prayer takes fast.
When you fast with prayer,
Did you?
I feel like
Yes.
fasting with prayer, I feel like when you fast,
Yes.
I don't
That's a
know.
must.
It's like it puts a little pure into it. It feel like
It
it's just
speeds the prayer. It speeds to God's ear.
that's just what I experienced. What I've heard people say too. I feel like when I fast, I feel like my prayers come a little bit. And that could be something mentally that I just thought. But I also feel like other people have said when they fast versus when they don't fast. I've heard people say when they fast and pray that their answers it's like they find a different feeling, a different result versus
So do you
when
think
they
it
just
matters
pray.
which type of, like how you fast? Do it got to be fasting on food? So when you fast and pray, what are you fasting?
How I fast and pray is I block
All the
everything
toxins.
out that I normally usually do. So
All the
on
toxins.
that day, in that period time frame, I'm just basically feeding my spirit.
Yes.
Whether if I'm reading the Bible, I'm listening to a sermon, or I'm listening to gospel music, I'm just really praising, ministering my soul, praying. I'm just feeding my spiritual side for a long period of time. Instead of before I wake up and instead of before I go to bed, I'm doing it all through the day for a lengthy amount of time. And I set a standard, set a time with God, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. My boyfriend, he's very, very big on fasting. Like he fasts a lot.
Commitment said it's only one true way to fast, and that's turning down your plate.
Yeah, he does like he'll go on a 30-day, 40-day, like he'll do a sun on sundown, like he's into that. And with him, when you have somebody in your space, in your corner, that like you already know to pray and fast, but when you have somebody in your corner when you going through something and they be like, we finna fast or we finna pray,
right.
it puts a little different feeling to the third situation too, because you don't feel like you're all alone when it comes to that. Because to me, he say when two or more is gathered in his name, he
That's
comes.
right.
So I feel like when you have a team, whether it's a significant other, your mama, your daddy, your friends, you have somebody that's fasting and praying with you. You get a village of people that pray and fast with you unconditionally and not just,
And that's what I was
like you need a village. And I feel like when you have a village of people that understand the power of prayer, change your perception on the power of prayer too. You can't keep surrounding yourself around people that be like, girl, I'm tired of people telling me that too. Because if you believe that you tired of people telling you to pray, and I say, girl, I am too. We ain't doing nothing but feeding the wrong type of fear, and of course we're not gonna do it. But if you tell me that, and I say, friend, nah, you really do need to pray because such and such and such happened when I prayed, or friend, we can pray together, or when you have people to help you through that, I feel like it changed your perception because now you're looking back and be like, oh, shit.
So Kim, did you have a prayer buddy or a prayer partner?
Yeah.
Or did you just pray? You had a prayer circle.
I have a prayer community.
A prayer community.
Yes, I have a community. I have a community.
Nice.
That's nice. They have a whole community. But when you say that praying, sometimes you have to watch because everybody ain't praying the same prayer.
Absolutely. And when I say community, it doesn't mean where I live. I'm talking about I have different resources of people in different spaces and areas. I got my JTL line dancers. I joined them in January. I got my Second Baptist family that's still in my heart dearly. I got my College Station Bucktown family. I got my family on my mama's side, my family on my daddy's side. I got my best friends. I got some co-workers. You know what I'm saying? I got my man. I got my children. I got my grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? I got people that I don't even know that know me. You know what I'm saying? So when I say a community, I mean in-laws. I just got a big old community of people that truly love me and support me.
How many kids you say you have again?
I have Deontay is 34.
No, how many you have?
It's 31. Jamia should be 30 and Tommy is 24.
So you have 4 children
and 7 grandbabies.
Oh wow. So when your kids come to you and they tell you they got trials and tribulations and going through things, what is your answer to them?
I talk it out first.
I'm only laughing because my answer my daddy being a bishop, I'll be like, Daddy,
you're gonna talk it out.
I want to talk to them first because you don't want to isolate them and run away with the first thing you say is pray. Once you get to talking to them, they're gonna ease. You got to ease that word in sometimes. That word just can't just be suffocate. You can't suffocate people.
That will bring you out.
You got to ease it in there. It's like baby spoon feed them. You got to sit there and spoon feed that word prayer, especially to people that don't know how to and ain't used to it. But my kids grew up in it. So when they call to me, that's why they're gonna be able to relate. So those are facts. It's just like I said, you got spoon feed prayer.
You do got to You do got to spoon feed prayer because, and it's not because you didn't believe, but sometimes that's not what I wanted to.
Because that's what they
because my dad, I be asking him like, bro, do you know how to be a father first?
Yeah,
and then bishop. It's like it's always bishop mode with him. And sometimes it's just so, because it's like, I know I need to pray, but what else?
But see, you got to remember, those have to live on standards, baby.
But that's what
in the line.
It took me a long time for me to actually start. I'm 40 now, so life just be life. You know what I'm saying? When I was 20, thinking life was life, when I did not know that it had a whole 2 more decades to really actually believe, like, you know what? I thought that was it. But baby, this right here is what. Yeah, so now that I'm older, it's like, okay, I get you there. But golly, that wasn't what I wanted to hear all the time. When I call him in my young days, like she said, spoon feed, it's like, listen to me. Can you help me? And then say, okay, we need to pray. Now I know every time I call, well, God, he only don't put that much on you that you can bear it.
Yes.
You just need to pray. And it's like, bro, that ain't what I want to hear.
Have you ever taught them or taught your kids or grandkids anybody? You always brought them up to pray and everything. Mm-hmm. Have they ever came to you and said, well, Mama, praying just ain't enough? Yeah. Or praying just, so how do you what do you do when they say that's just not enough? What makes
give me as an example?
You got to use examples. Yeah, that's when examples take place.
Right.
That's when you really got to do the action. It's time to take action now.
Yep.
Because now they feel like, okay, I done heard enough prayers.
Yep.
Let me see some action with that. And I learned that you know, it's with Dee Dee. You know, this is how being told. Y'all gotta remember, I was told I was ugly. I wasn't gonna live to be 21.
You're gorgeous.
I'm gonna die like my mama. You know, keep out my mom and daddy died at 20. My daughter died at 20. And then somebody was cruel enough to say, you know, God do these things in threes. See, I told y'all those were cruel people that spoke to me.
I've heard that. I've heard people
You know,
say
I was like,
It's like, I can believe
when a
stuff
death
like
when
that.
a death happens, they say death comes.
What you just said, I didn't want to hear it, but I was told it. But see, like I said, I allowed a lot of people to speak negativity in my pain, in my hurt. I never attacked. I just never forgot. And now I see a lot of them going through it, and I'm sitting back like, hey, my.
That's why it's good to know. To always, like she said, that's why it's good for her to have that community. Because, like I just gave the example, if I'm feeding your spirit, like, you know, well, God does that in threes, then it's supposed to happen. It's gonna make you kind of turn and be like, God, like, oh,
Right.
like what?
And then when you see, okay,
yeah.
and let me tell y'all something too. I had selfish thoughts. I'm never a selfish person, but I'm gonna tell y'all I had selfish thoughts. I had to call one of my BFF one time, BFF Sharita, and I had to tell her, I said, Sharita, I said, I really feel bad because I'm sitting here asking God, why did certain such lose their child? They don't even get along. They out here doing God knows this and God knows that. Why you take my baby? She was there praying, asking to stay here, begging you to stay here, scared to close her eyes, didn't want to leave her, thought she was going to have a heart transplant, want to raise her baby. But I see these young girls out here fighting, killing, shooting, doing God knows, disrespecting their mama, their daddy, don't love nothing, ain't praying or nothing. And she said, cuz, that's the devil playing tricks on you. He playing with your mind because he know you're hurt, and he taking that hurt to make you think evil thoughts. In your hurt, now you're wanting other people to feel your pain, and that is the most selfish inner thoughts, the most ungodly way of thinking. But that's human. I'm human. And she said, don't beat yourself up for it. Just know and pray even about those type of thoughts and ask God to take them away. See, I can admit those things because I was hurting and grieving, and I just didn't understand. You took my baby.
Pray about it.
You know,
the only answer.
Did you just hear me say I had to pray?
You have to pray.
I had to pray.
Situation. Can somebody help you in that situation?
No, ma'am. I was having some evil thoughts, and they were not good thoughts, and they was not the thoughts that was right. And I knew this myself in the hurt and grief.
Thoughts through.
Yeah, I did that one. I swear to God, I asked for forgiveness too, because I asked God to forgive me with those type of evil thoughts. I don't want nobody to lose a child because I lost mine. Right. But I was human, and the human side kicked in even in my inner thoughts. And when you tell my grandbaby, I was with Quanta's question, I tell Dee Dee to this day. She said kids make fun of her unibrows and they tell her she ugly. I said, let me tell you something, baby. God created nothing ugly. That's a mind thing. That's something you can never believe. Because the first thing you must understand, when you wake up and after you thank God for waking you up this morning, Dee Dee, you beautiful, baby. I said, if nobody never tell you beautiful, grandma done told you beautiful. You are beautiful inside and out. And don't you let no little kids tell you anything other than that. Because when you put your clothes on, you pretty. When you take them off, you pretty. When you go to sleep, you pretty. When you wake up, you pretty. I said, the only thing I want you to know, grandma love you. If you ain't never heard the word beautiful, I tell you, baby, you beautiful. Those words is what I teach all my grand. And when y'all see me, what's the first thing I do? I'm a compliment a woman. I am that person. I'm going to say, good morning, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. Hey, gorgeous. I speak that into every woman.
Speak life into her.
I try to speak that and leave that to make a woman understand. The confirmation is you. You don't need nobody else to sit there and speak that into you. Speak it into yourself. I don't need nobody to tell me I'm beautiful, baby girl. I thank you for the compliment, but I already know that.
I get to the point now I don't even. I'm like her. I pray and say, God, put me in position where I ain't gotta ask nobody nothing but you. I don't even ask people for nothing. Because sometimes them saying pray about it, it can trigger, but not in a way to where you mad about praying about it. It's just a trigger because what do you think I did? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am praying about it. So now to keep me from even feeling a type of way when it comes to people saying pray about it, I just mostly just go to him. I don't even ask them for nothing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just try to just go directly to him because sometimes praying about it can just be a trigger, but not in a trigger in a way to where you don't believe in the power of prayer. Just out of aggravation, just like, what do you think I did? I did pray about it. So what's next? What's the
Try
action?
being opposite. If everything you're trying has not worked, try praying to see does it work. What's wrong with praying to see does it work? Because all God is wanting us to do is lean toward Him. He says what? Lean not to your own understanding. That's the problem we do. We lean to our own understanding. And that's the problem we have. Lean toward him. And just to see, if we try it this way, it's just no different than y'all going to try this $500 hair. If it don't work, you done wasted $500 on your hair. You and your little lines and all your little hair, all this hair I see. I done seen $500 go to waste.
That's
so
right.
if you done wasted $500 on a wig, you show a free prayer. What's wrong with a free prayer? I don't get it, but I understand.
I don't passed out.
I'm sorry. So let me ask you this: have you ever laid down? You know, you said your prayer and you prayed to God, and you laid down, and have you sworn that you actually heard God speak to you?
Yes.
From your prayer. So yeah, I mean actually heard it.
Like so honestly, I'm gonna answer you that. I'm such an overthinker. I overthink if I'm hearing God or not.
You question it.
I promise you, and I mean my boyfriend talking about all the time. He's like, "Hey, you gotta chill." I'm such an overthinker. I'm like,
me too.
Was that God?
No, but then y'all,
was that really God? Or do I think that's God?
See, but
I'm an overthinker over what I prayed about too. Like I be so hesitant of not trying to go in the wrong direction that I be overthinking. Like, was that Him speaking, or was that my inner thought speaking to myself?
See, I relate to her. I'm OCD, and by me being OCD, I'm sitting there overthinking, overdoing it, overflowing. I'm just doing too much to the point where I need to fall back. And first thing my man say, calm down. See, I like that. I'm trying to get somebody to calm me down. Baby, calm down.
Sometimes you think of calm to your soul.
Yes, I think it just depends on, you have been through so much trial and tribulation, something so devastating in life that once you get to a point to where prayer really works and you believe in the power of God, it's like when you are overthinker, you're scared to sometimes make any move because you don't want to put yourself in any other direction than going the way you need to go. And I be so overthinking so much sometimes to where when I pray about it, I'm still overthinking.
And God answered your prayer.
And I'm just like, was that really Him, or is that just me thinking about my?
You was questioning.
But are you listening to yourself, beautiful? All that you are saying is very powerful. You still talking about prayer. Everything you talking about is God. So that lets me know that the type of person, the woman you are a true believer in God. This whole time you've been talking, I've just been listening to you, and that make me sit there and relate to you in so many ways, to the point where, see what I'm saying? Look at what she's saying. Everything she's saying is right. You know what I'm saying? I perfect myself to be perfect, which is not possible, because God created no perfect people. But you know why I perfect myself? Do you honestly want to know why? Because I'm going to give you a reason to never say, I told you so. I'm going to give you a reason to never say, Kim, no. Because see, I have learned through this thing called life that everybody's waiting for me to fall. And because now I know what you're waiting on, I ain't finna give it to you. I'm not going to get, and God ain't either. Because He said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It may form, but it will not prosper. So I told myself this here. First thing they'll say, I remember somebody told my cousin, why everybody don't think Kim do it? Somebody told my daughter, y'all think Kim don't do nothing. And I'm like, is y'all waiting for me to do something? And then I told myself, well, you got to learn to pay attention to the people that's doing the talking. You got to learn to do the people that call your circle. No matter if it's family or friends, they can become haters too. And naysayers and wannabes and attention seekers. But when you learn them, this is what you learn to do. pray about them too, because they know not what they do.
That's true. You have to pray because
You got to pray
know not what
because they
do.
know not what they
Yeah,
do.
when I go to
That's
sleep at
praying
night
for your
time,
enemy.
I don't just pray
Must
for my enemy. I
pray for
say,
your
Lord,
enemies.
Got to.
Lord, protect me from the seen and the unseen. Protect me not only from my enemies, but for the ones that pretend to love me,
Yes.
and for the ones that do love me, but
Yes.
I can't see their arrows.
Yes.
And do y'all not notice when you say that prayer to God, how people start falling off?
Yeah.
He
That's
start
project. My son got
falling off.
he got
So
some.
he
Yeah, it's some
Your
prayers
prayers
that
will
I
be
don't
answered.
even pray now because I be scared for the
You
results.
see? Like, who gonna fall off next?
Last time I prayed, that prayer God, it was
But
just
I
me
like
and you.
removal.
Like,
Y'all do know removal is a good thing. Once he
Yeah,
do
it
remove them,
Because
once he
when
do
you-
remove them, that's a good thing.
It's
a good thing.
sometimes it be so scary because especially when you love someone so much, but you know they're not supposed to be around you,
Right.
and you know that it's so deep to where the only person that can remove them is God. So when
Oh,
you
my-
say that prayer and be like, God, can you please move this person? You got to be really,
Specific.
really firm on
Oh.
that you want that to happen because he's
Absolutely.
going to definitely do it. And sometimes I'll be like,
Who
who
I'm
I'm pray this
lose?
person with God? Oh, he finna.
But you need
Boy,
to see
you
it.
know, yeah, you need to see
You
it, but
need
it's just
it.
sometimes just that flesh doesn't want it. You know, you sometimes you just get the urge to where like you fighting with your flesh, like.
But you know what I like too, y'all? I like being not part of the conversation. When you have always been part of the conversation. Kim did, Kim said, Kim. Now I get the calls of the conversation that had nothing to do with me. Do you know the feeling I feel with that? I feel like, oh, really?
Bless
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
But
serious?
when they don't have nothing to talk about, now they just talk about. Well, you remember when Kim? Y'all don't remember when Kim
That's
did
all
that?
you heard. That's all you heard.
In
I'm like,
2024, y'all remember when in '99 when Kim had
you don't even know me,
And
baby.
you
Look what you
like,
saying. Like,
In
wow.
99.
But some of them are still doing it now, but want me to be just like
I
this.
remember when Erica and baby, my son was 4 years old and my son is 24.
Like,
Like,
not the same.
yeah,
Erica.
like no, like
Kim's
you have
not
to
the same
introduce
Kim.
yourself.
Right.
And if I think one of you know, I'm not the same Kim.
A different king.
I am
And
a
every
different-
birthday,
I'm
people,
different.
if they're not around
I'm
you
different.
all the time, every birthday, people are gonna have to just you're gonna have to reintroduce yourself because if you live right and allow yourself to let your life not guide you in the way you need to go, you will change every time you have
Just
a birthday.
grow.
And it's growth and you're supposed to. So if people are not around you, you're going to have to stay reintroducing yourself to certain people, and that's just how it is. But people, when they don't have nothing bad to say about you no more, when you're not conversation, they will often
Bring
try
up
to
the
rely
old you.
over the
That's
old
all they
you
have to say on me
to only
because
talk about
I don't
you
have nothing to
because-
say about me, baby.
Yeah.
I got a track record where you really can't say nothing about me. If you want to talk about me, the only thing you can actually say about me is I used to fight. I fought when I was young. But if you want to talk about Kim, there's nothing to say. I'm leaving a track record, a legacy, and I'm making sure that I don't give you anything to say. Anything you're saying, you just want to talk. And I'm gonna let you do what you do, talk. It's just chatter. But what I tell people, I'm not gonna entertain it. I'm not gonna make you relevant. I'm not giving you the energy, and I'm not gonna ever allow you into my space again to ever make a conversation of something that was not worth a conversation.
And
It's just
then
not gonna happen.
I'm gonna just pray about it.
I prayed with before it happened.
So,
just pray
you
about
guys, we got to get ready to wrap it up, but I want to give everybody a chance to give their closing remarks, and we'll start with you there. On prayer.
On prayer.
I pray.
So, you guys, I would say this. Prayer does change. And if you find yourself in situations as me, I have found myself and still currently find myself. So I'm not going to get on here and act like, oh, prayer this and oh, I'm just so holy and start speaking in tongues. No, I find myself still praying about certain things, but they say you push. You pray until something changes. So I'm just going to keep praying until something changes and understand that the reason why certain things have not changed the way you want it to change is because there's something that you are not taking out of the situation just yet for him to feel like you can move on.
Absolutely.
Some things happen in sequence and pattern in order for you to be able to move to your next step. You have to go through this change or this circumstance in order for you to move to the next step. So just keep praying, keep having faith, because God does listen. He does. Miracles do exist. He does answer your prayers, and don't be so quick to judge someone when they say just pray about it, because he could be using that very person to come tell you, hey, I'm just waiting on you to pray to me. I got you. I'm just waiting on you to come to me. So sometimes praying about it is the only answer, because that's what you need to do. He knows your next move. So don't get offended when someone tells you that.
Okay, Miss Kim, give us your closing remarks on the power of prayer.
Coexistence. I'm learning that as long as I'm here, I told myself and I told God, I want to leave a legacy that anybody that was in my circle enjoyed being in my circle. I left footprints for them to understand that, yeah, I lost a lot. Yeah, I lost much, but God gave me double for my trouble. And I tell people this, sir, if I never say it again, I am the prodigy of the book of Job. If you read Job in the Bible, I am her. I'm just a woman version. But one thing Job didn't do was give up, stop believing, stop trusting, and stop praying. And God gave him everything back and then some. And like I said, I lost a lot, but he has gave me big. And I am more humble and thankful for that. I never thought I could say the word happy in these last 10 years. If I never say it, if I leave here tomorrow, the world will know I said I am a happy 50-year-old mother and grandmother who is blessed by my BFF G-O-D, God, my numero uno.
Okay, you guys, hey, that was it in a nutshell, how powerful prayer is.
Yes, it is.
And if you did not learn anything else about our episode tonight, I hope you learned that prayer changes things. Don't stop praying. And prayer is so powerful.
It is.
Sit back and wait and listen to God, and He'll give you the answers you need. And until next time, and again, I want to thank Kim for coming on our show,
Thank
blessing us with
you.
your presence. You was
Pretty
awesome.
lady.
And thank you for rocking our colors. You did that, and we just love it. And we're going to love on her after this. And y'all, thank y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. And once again, it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. So let's always try to have good and positive things in you. And that's our time. See you next week.
Pray.
Pray.
Pray.